This is a great vocal take.
I'm starting to find I'm having a time trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do?
To understand how I got here, I'm going to take you back through the 6 steps I follow every time I record vocals. And if you follow them too, you're guaranteed to nail the perfect vocal take every single time. First things first, it's crucial to make sure you have a proper mic setup. This is key because the last thing you want to do is nail an incredible performance only to find out later that it's unusable because something wasn't set up correctly. You want to make sure your mic is set up on a stand, that your gain is set properly, and that the room is treated in a way to reduce echoes and reflections. I cover all of this in detail in another video called 5 Proven Tricks to Make Any Mic Sound Professional, and there's a link in the description if you want to check it out after this one. With everything set up, you're going to want to dial in your recording settings. This primarily consists of adding compression, and you want to add it before you record because it'll make it much easier to get a great performance. Without compression, your vocal will be completely dry, and a completely dry vocal will struggle to cut through the mix, making it difficult for the singer to hear themselves, and this will cause them to sing louder to compensate, which will ultimately make the vocal performance worse, which is no good. I'm a huge fan of Joey Sturgis's gain reduction plugin with these settings. It's a super strong compressor, and it makes getting a great vocal performance much, much easier. Here's a quick before and after so you can hear the difference a compressor makes.
Now I'm ready to come down again.
Another thing you might want to add before you record is reverb. It'll add a ton of depth and make your vocal sound much more epic, and it can help you get in the zone and feel more confident. Inside Logic Pro, I like to use the Space Designer Reverb with the Old Spring preset set to -25 dB. And it sounds like this.
Woke up this morning with a migraine in my head.
And remember, none of these settings are permanent. They're just there to make the recording process smoother and much more enjoyable. You can always change them later, so don't overthink it. Just set up what feels good to you, and then turn your focus to nailing the perfect performance. With the settings all dialed in, you're going to want to warm up and practice. A warmed up voice gives you better control, a tighter sound, and helps prevent strain. So make sure you run through the song several times to warm up your voice and practice. By the time you're recording, you should have the song fully memorized. The lyrics, the melody, everything. When the words and notes are second nature, you can focus entirely on delivering an amazing performance instead of worrying about what comes next in the song. When you're fully prepared, your performance will reflect it. Now that your voice is all warmed up and you've got the song down, it's time to record the perfect take. A great vocal take is 50% technical, staying in pitch, keeping good timing, and enunciating clearly. And the other 50% is all about emotion. To nail the emotional side, it helps to think about what the lyrics truly mean. If you're singing a sad song about heartbreak, think about what it feels like to be heartbroken. If it's an upbeat song about a night out with your friends, think about the excitement of a night out. It's kind of like method acting. Your performance will be far more convincing if you mentally immerse yourself in the lyrics. When recording vocals, I recommend taking it one section at a time. Start with verse 1, then move on to verse 2, then the chorus, and so on. And for each section you record, make sure you record multiple takes. To make this process easier inside of Logic Pro, I like to set a loop for the section I'm about to record, and then record multiple takes at one time.
I'm starting to find I'm having a time trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do? I'm starting to find I'm having a time trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do?
Okay, I feel like we've got enough to work with. Now we're gonna do the exact same thing with our harmonies. On a brand new track with the volume nice and high so I can hear myself, let's record our harmonies several times.
I'm starting to fight, I'm having a time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do? I'm starting to fight, I'm having a time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine.
If you're loving these tips and you want to take your music production skills to the next level, you should check out my course, Spare Bedroom Studio. It's designed to help you learn everything you need to know to record, produce, and mix professional quality music at home, even if you're working with budget gear. And for those of you who want personalized guidance, I offer a one-on-one mentorship program tailored to your specific goals. If that sounds like something you're interested in, check it out in the links in the description. Now that we've recorded multiple takes, it's time to combine the best parts of each take into one magical final take, and this process is called comping. The exact steps will vary depending on the DAW that you're using, but inside Logic Pro, it's incredibly simple. Since we recorded each take on top of each other, I can just click the dropdown to see all the takes we recorded. From here, I can click and drag to select the best parts of each take, seamlessly combining them into the ultimate vocal performance. To start, I like to listen through each take and decide which one stands out on both a technical and emotional level, and this will become our bass take. So after listening through everything, I think take number 2 was the strongest. So let's go ahead and click on it to make it our bass take. From here, we're gonna listen through carefully and identify any parts that we think could be improved, and we'll swap those moments out with stronger moments from other takes.
I'm starting to fight, I'm having a time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine.
So trapped inside is a little flat, so let's go ahead and see if I did it better on take 1.
Time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine.
So that's better, but I still think messed up is also a little bit flat, so let's see how I did that on take 3.
Trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do?
So the do might be a little bit sharp, so I'm gonna replace it with the version from take 1.
But what can you do?
And just like that, we've created a comp with the best parts from each vocal take. And now we're gonna do the exact same thing with the harmonies. We're gonna listen through all of them and combine the best parts into one magic take.
I'm starting to fight, I'm having a time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do?
And just like that, we've got a fantastic vocal take. But we can take it a step further by adding pitch correction. Pitch correction can be a bit of a controversial topic, but it's widely used in modern productions, so it's important to cover it. The two most popular tools for this are Autotune by Antares and Melodyne by Celemony. Personally, I use Autotune, but the process I'm about to show works for both. With Autotune loaded, switch over to graph mode, select the track option, and play back your vocal take. This will map out the vocal melody on the graph so you can adjust the pitch. When it comes to pitch correction, you can choose to fix only certain notes or apply it to the entire take. It all depends on the style you're going for. For a stripped down, raw feel, limited or no pitch correction is usually best. But if you're looking for a modern, polished sound, applying light pitch correction across the whole take can give it that professional edge. To add pitch correction, go ahead and select the note tool and draw in the notes you were aiming for. Once that's done, we can adjust how strong the effect is by clicking Select All Notes and adjusting the retune speed. The slower the retune speed, the less noticeable the pitch correction will be. I usually set it to around 90, just enough to enhance the vocal without the average listener noticing. And once it's all said and done, this is what it sounds like.
I'm starting to fight, I'm having a time, trapped inside this messed up head of mine. But what can you do?
So I want you guys to know that I'm going to start hosting live streams right here on YouTube, where I'll break down recording techniques, answer your questions in real time, and even review your music to give personalized feedback and tips. So if you have a question or you want your music reviewed during the stream, be sure to submit them through the forms linked in the description. And like I mentioned earlier, if you need help setting up your mic properly, you should watch this video right here. It's 5 proven tricks to make any mic sound professional. It's packed with tips that are guaranteed to take your recordings to the next level. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you over there.